Pounders, welcome back. Wednesday drafting. We have a lot of ADP movement in the last 2 days, so glad to get ahead of some of those guys we can go over. But the main slate looks like it is 24% full, which is why it's so important to draft on Monday, on Tuesday, to target those risers, because for the majority of the contest, 75% in this case, you're not going to be able to get those combinations with some of those early players, especially that rise so quick. The Dawg Bowl, same thing, 21% full. We are waiting on a Dawg Bowl where you're waiting for 8. So while that fills, we will rip some main slate BRs. We haven't done our three $20 entries. There's some fun contests in here, boys. Like, you don't always have to just do the main slate. There's other ways to realize your EV a little sooner with smaller field stuff. Something like, if you're into it, the $100 to bomb, if your bankroll calls for it. But my favorite, right here, third and long. It's a 3-entry max, $20 each, 564 entrants. First place is double the victory formation, which is the same amount of entrants. So it's going to reward a heavier top 10%, top 10 placement in this contest versus the victory formation, which is a little more balanced out. It's a single entry. I'm still going to do it, but 1,000 for first place versus 2,000 for first in the third and long. So that is my favorite structure right now, is this contest here. Some quick hellos. I'm Mega, Logan, you talk sports. What's up, fellas? Welcome to the live stream. A couple days overdue, but we did get our Monday risers, and that's really one thing that I stress on this channel, is being able to get ahead on DK. Again, I don't have a ton of volume by Tuesday or Wednesday, but I do make sure the volume that I do get, I'm focusing on these players that are going to rise. So especially like someone like Kittle, Bowers, these Carolina guys, give me one of these pieces. This will be the week that they get a few rushing tutties. Just wait. We'll be able to clip that in a minute. Lamar in Baltimore feel like they're in a absolute must-win situation. Does that mean Lamar takes the ball in his own hands? You could see a big game from Lamar this week. I'm trying to up that exposure as well. Dale and Meat in the house. What's up, fellas? Cards, bro. I am pretty sure I saw you high up in the leaderboard in one contest. We've had the Pounders, especially the ones that are bestballoverlay.com subscribers, very high up in the leaderboard. Shout out to Duels coming in second place, splitting second place in the Primetime Palooza? Sirianni calls a timeout at the end of the game. Game's over. Kirk Cousins has to kneel the ball again for -1 yard. That was the difference of first and second place. Just thousands of dollars because Nick Sirianni want to be a dick. Crazy. But Duels still had a great lineup. Shout out to Duels for his big cash. Doc in the house. What are you wearing? A little Travis Matthews, a little golf. We're East Coast, but we can still rep some West Coast clothing. Here is the draft type distribution. This is a week that it's tougher for me to get there with the 2 RBs. So I still want this to be 60% plus of probably RBs filling the flex. So I do have to come back around and flip the script here, but it has been a little easier to draft 3 wide receivers on this slate specifically. Maybe not, that probably doesn't go for the Dawg Bowls. So what's great about this is you can go ahead and sift through. Okay, Dawg Bowl quals, we can see that it's actually 40-60 on the few that I've done so far, on the 5 that I've done. I'm going to get up to 10 to 12 a week is going to be the goal. Unless I see there's going to be overlay, then you might see Pat sneak in some more. Bro, I'm in a contest. Like what? Let's see what we have. Barkley and Marv. Play ball. What's the Dawg Bowl at? Maybe that was the notification on the celly there. Makes a lot of sense. +7 if you guys want to join us in a Dawg Bowl draft. Josh, shout out to Josh. Bestballoverlay.com, promo code Pounders. All caps for 33% off, $20 a month. That becomes $5 a week for the slate. So if you're investing $40 plus, in my opinion, it becomes extremely worth it. All right, Gibbs falling to 14. I want to sort of ignore that. Hurts and Barkley a little negatively correlated there, in my opinion. I want to go either one of Bowers or Kittle in this range. I like them both. If we go Gibbs, the only thing I'm thinking is if we get a Detroit piece as a bring back for Marv, we go Kyler. We can even do this with someone like J-Mo. Yeah, Kittle gonna smash. It does feel like a Kittle week. He's my tight end 1 right now in exposure. 23%. It does feel like a Kittle week. No Debo. The splits there are absolutely insane. So, but I could still see Bowers having a very big week himself. So that tight end position, I still want to mix it up a little bit. So I'll be able to go in. I can see combination-wise, I do not have a team that is Barkley, Marv, and Bowers, which is great to see through 3 picks. And Ayuk should be up the board. DK should be up the board, in my opinion. K-Walk. Sneaky last round pick, especially in the Dawg Bowl. Sneaky last round pick. If he doesn't play, which I'm not expecting him to, you can swap to a low owned Zach Charbonnet. Very low owned. Who do we want to go here first? Is McBride? McBride's behind us. Turbotron's here. You know he's going to click Kyler. If we want Kyler, we should just grab him now. And then if we're fine with one of these 3, I'd almost just want to go that route. Taylor at... Let's go Kyler here. I was going to say, if Turbotron already had a QB with McBride, we would push Kyler in this spot specifically, but let's get that game stack. Let's get a Detroit piece. Laporta goes at 23. And we'll see how banged up Amon-Ra is too. Like, are they going to send him out as just a moving cone, basically? And it's a Laporta week or J-Mo week. This is interesting with JT falling to 27. I don't know how overly unique it is because we're basically right on ADP with everyone. I mean, we're just gonna click. We're just gonna keep it simple, boys. We're just gonna click J-Mo falling 10 picks here. +4 for the Dawg Bowl if you guys want to get in this with us. +10 for the Dawg Bowl. I was second with under 3 minutes, and the Barkley drop cost me thousands. Oh my dear. I saw you high up. I was pulling for you, man. I was pulling for you. That's crazy. It cost me my streak. I had Mooney under 2.5 first downs. Going into the fourth quarter, he had 0 catches. Going into that last Atlanta drive, he had 1 catch. Back-to-back first downs to Mooney. I'm like, this has got to be rigged. That's crazy. That is crazy. But we did really good in pick'ems last week, so can't complain. So, fantasy football, deep slates, it is so punishing. Like, when one play can be the difference. I mean, Dooley knows it better than anyone with the Sirianni timeout at the end of the game. This is great. We get our correlated J-Mo here as our bring back in this game. Beautiful. Yeah, jump in. Why not? We are waiting on 4 people for the Dawg Bowl. I have about 5 of those left to draft. Let's see if anyone is willing to fill, and this should fill. Let's see where we're at. Oh, 6 out of 6. Let's go. $20, 3 entry max. Coop's in the house. Wow. Coop and A bunch of badgeless. Let's go, Coop. Let's go. Steph in the house. What's going on, Steph? Hope the season isn't causing too much stress with all the injuries. Cost me 1,100 in showdowns. Dude, the Barkley drop is, I get it. Like, if it's not open, like, Hurts probably just runs the ball, keeps the clock moving. You're Philly. Stick to what you're good at. Just run the ball 2 times in a row. Like, what are we doing? Like, if you lose yardage somehow on third down, you're probably kicking it, but like, it's 3rd and 3. You get 2 yards, you're tush pushing 99% of the time. +1 for the dog bowl. Let's go. I was thinking, yeah, they're running it twice and this game's over. I would have been happy with that. Do we get CeeDee Lamb at 3 because of the ankle injury that did not play, the DMP? Okay, we're going to take him. We're going to take him. Let me pull up my other 3rd and long contest just to have a peek at how that one turned out. We can actually go here. We can go to 3rd and long and just pull it up on the website, bestballoverlay.com. This is a Lamb, Adams, Ayuk, Ferg. I like that team. I like that team. That might be the secret sauce. A little Dallas double stack. A little Dallas double stack. Ayuk at 24. Where does Ayuk go now? Ayuk goes at 21.5, but in sharper rooms, he's being pulled up. Wow, we're going to get Mason here at 10. Jefferson went at 9. Nico went at 8 because of the hip. These badgeless rooms, boys. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. What are we doing? What are we doing here? His ankle's fine. It has to be fine. It has to be. They're playing Baltimore. Yeah, I'm seeing it as a day off as well right now. I'm not worrying too much. Oh, it's busy. I bet. I bet. What a crazy couple weeks. What a crazy couple weeks. I'm lucky to have even advance rates on BBM with 2% Kamara, so I'm very thrilled where we're at. And like I said, best ball bro or girl tip of the week. Make sure you post how many third place teams you have in BBM. Oh God, it is funny to go through the BBM DB and see some of the different stuff that they offer on that website. We have one San Fran piece. Not that I'm afraid to bring a second one in, but I do want one of these 2 tight ends. I think this is pretty imperative. I also very much like Lamar this week and getting this Dallas stack. So if it's not meant to be, if we don't get one of those tight ends, we could also settle for Laporta. So one of these 3 tight ends is ideal. One of these 3 tight ends is ideal. I want to get Lamar in one of these 3rd and long. So we have a Dak team with Gibbs, Lamb. Let's get the game script going. Yeah, Lamb at 3. People, especially, the badgeless are afraid, man. They're afraid. Kittle gone. Bowers gone. What's the Mrs. Practice Wednesday? 34 minutes ago. Due to a hand injury. Very interesting. Very interesting. We have a trick up our sleeve. Ayuk goes. Coop already has Gibbs. He goes Godwin. This is a good spot for us to go Laporta. One of these guys is going to have, it feels like the time's been ticking and elite tight end's going to hit this week. You might see several. It just seems like it's due. It seems like, especially the situation where Amon-Ra might be a little dinged up with several injuries. could get a few more targets going Laporta's way. Let's go. That's a hot start. That's a hot start. I need a few things to start going my way. I like DK here still. I also, again, let's bring in the stack. Let's bring in Zay here. Okay, Dog Bowl filled. We get pick 5. I like it. We're right in the mix. We're right in the mix. We're in Q-Tag City. We'll see who falls to us at 5. I have a feeling someone's falling. Shout out to Turbo. I am the Sims. Jewish McCaffrey. RKF. Shoobs is always in these streets. Names is Josh. Bestball Josh. On the Discord and on Twitter. Appreciate this. Smash Kyle Pitts this week. Man, I was hoping we were going to see an uptick in targets for Kyle Pitts. I know it's early. And Kirk Cousins has kind of looked like crap. But I always figured we would know by now if Pitts was going to hit by like week 2. And like the Ray McLeod shit is crazy. It's crazy. Let's have a little fun with this last pick. Let's go with the super low owned Zach Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker not playing. You could click K-Walk there and swap. Probably the safer thing to do. Let's go Jefferson. Pitts his ass, man. Fancy Gesicki. Dude, people didn't like the Gesicki click. And now you see Cincinnati actually getting multiple tight ends heavily involved. Was it a game script thing? You have T. Higgins still out. Really would love T. Higgins to show up to a game for my expos. That and Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper's getting the targets. It's just like Deshaun Watson looks like crap, which may be expected. We'll see. Deontay Johnson, are those shares back from the dead? Well, Andy Dalton starting now, and he's actually a good shout in this contest. Deontay. Can he revive his start to his season? I think he can. Personally, I think he can. Nico goes at 9, Marv at 8. I like the 2 RBs in this spot. I also like Nico mixed in here. This is going to be, I think, my first share of Jefferson for the Dog Bowl. Dog Bowl number 6. Let's see. Pull up my Dog Bowls. Yeah. It's my first Jefferson share. With Nico dinged up a little bit, I mean, it's Wednesday, so there's still some uncertainty. Is this like a potential Diggs week? Is Tank Dell going to show up to a game? Could be some fun one-off clicks. And where we have this game stack, it could be pretty viable for us. I've already seen a 2-tutty game from Diggs. Now is 33 yards. You don't like to see back-to-back 30-yard games, but with Mixon potentially not playing, maybe get some more passing plays would be the hope. Yeah, so many Q tags, so many people out. And the thing is, like, leaning into the Q tags early, smart. So, like, AJ Brown started Monday with the Q tag. Like, Devonta Smith, he was going to be a riser if AJ Brown was deemed out. He was going to probably not even fall that far if AJ Brown was ruled in. Because, like, what does his role look like? Even if he does play, there's no chance. I actually like a few of these picks, so I don't care who we get, but let's see what Shubes does. He started with Achan. Jewish McCaffrey going Kittle and Jalen Hurts. Very strong. Yeah, he goes Devonta Adams. I like that. I like that right there. I'm between Devonta Smith and Bowers. Now, is Devonta Smith sort of a bet on Jalen Hurts in a way? I still like it. Let me see. Who do we have behind us? 4, 8 picks. Let's go Bowers. Let's get the elite tight end. Let's get the elite tight end. Who's getting elite usage? He's eating very heavily into Myers. Yeah, I think this is. I think this would be nice with the Jefferson start, especially. I did notice that. Let's check the snaps for Taysom Hill. Because the coach speak leading into the season was they were going to utilize him more. And it just hasn't been that. And then you have Olave doing like the Lord's work for Kamara, just dropping at the 1 yard line, and then people going ahead and victory lapping Alvin Kamara. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Taysom Hill was out there 47%. He's in some packages. Juwan Johnson got an uptick from 35% snaps to 41%. So is he getting a little more healthy? Foster Moreau's like, he's out there, but he's mostly blocking. Foster Moreau, Morea. There it is. Yeah. They didn't have to throw the ball against Dallas. Just everything went their way. Like, Carr threw the ball 16 times. That's if you run that game 100 times, how many times can New Orleans win against Dallas and throw the ball 16 times? One. just one. One time. I like Godwin here. I also like J-Mo. We could backstack Stroud too. Neighbors is in the house here. He looks like a pretty decent click. Let's go with Godwin first. Stroud falls in these. A-Rich falls in these. I feel like people might have given up a little too early on A-Rich. Potentially getting Josh Downs back this week as well, which is really good for us. Our 20-something% Josh Downs. I think I saw, yeah, Josh grabbed DK, which I like a lot this week. So I'm guessing he projects really well. Jacobs probably projects for 20-plus touches pretty easily this week in Green Bay. Marshawn Lloyd put on the IR. Green Bay's another team that's hurting right now. And what does Miami do at QB? Like, are they just going to run out Skyler for the next 4 weeks? Is that really what's going to happen? You have Malik Washington that returned back to practice. He had a good run out going to Miami, a bad run out with Odell, then signing on with Miami. Good run out, Odell gets hurt. Bad run out, Tua gets hurt, and Malik gets hurt. Now he's back practicing at least. But who knows? Who knows in these next 4 weeks? Yeah, Huntley's going to have to take over. It's going to have to take over. I'm the Sims grab CJ Stroud at 35. See what Pounder Turbo wants to do here at the 12 spot. He gets Tyreek at 12. TP. Spears dealing with a little injury, but he's back to practice today. Pairs it with Tank Dell. Early season, kind of figured it was going to be Diggs, and then Tank Dell sort of taking it over towards the end. But man, Tank Dell's just not looked good. Jewish McCaffrey goes Neighbors at 34. He goes Diggs. Yeah. Jewish McCaffrey in the house. We know you're listening. We know you. We know. We know you're ghosting. You want to what? If they start to, if they don't fill, they probably will. I like the Charbonnet click here. I think that sharpened these. Like we were getting Charbonnet in the last round. Now, now he's going at 41 correctly, in my opinion. We were gonna try to go a little hero RB build. And he's my favorite one on the slate. He went off a little early, but we get an RB of our choice. J.K. Dobbins. The only scare is like the targets haven't been there, so he really has to get there with efficiency and on the ground. I also don't mind David Montgomery stealing tutties from Gibbs, from Laporta, from Amon-Ra. High total. Definitely a good option. I could see either one of these being pretty favorable in this spot. Let's go with Montgomery here. I'm boycotting Dog Bowl. Want to know why they're not doing them? They're filling. You want to know why they're filling them? Because the payout structure changed. Last year, third place was like $100, and it didn't pay out half of these. Like it's paying out top 1,000, you're getting your money back, which is a lot better structured than it was last year. So we'll see. It would take a couple weeks in a row of them eating some serious overlay for them to think about putting in a promo. I don't think it's going to happen. Andrew in the house, what's up, buddy? Let's go. I think Andrew's doing a BR stream. Is that tonight at 9:30 on Fanspeak? Looking forward to that. JSN goes. JSN would have been decent click here at 53. Yeah, you got nice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Rooney. Perfect. Perfect, fellas. Perfect. Could have the bake fall back to us, a little shake and bake at 53. It's not sexy. I'd much rather have probably a Geno stack, but yeah, the rooms are tougher. Like if you can really identify those risers on Monday, Tuesday, you do have a big advantage. You do have a big advantage. Demarcus Robinson, someone that's going to grade well this week. Same thing with Colby Parkinson, 80% plus of snaps. Not ready to give up on Colby. He was a free click on Monday and Tuesday. He's been rising. It's just they have no one. they have nobody. We could also plan for a Sam Darnold click if we didn't want to go bakey bake. Who sort of saves his day with this rushing tutty. What's up, Nick? What's going on, buddy? So if there's someone we absolutely need here, I like the Calvin Ridley click or Deontay Johnson. I'd say both of these players aren't going to be available coming back to us. If this gives us Sam Darnold, like how many teams need a QB? One? Two? Only two teams need a QB behind me. None of them have... Let's do this. Let's go Calvin Ridley here. I was going to say, none of them have a Minnesota piece that we really have to worry about. You probably see maybe even a little Russ action. What's the Russ news? Logs the limited practice. Get another week of Justin Fields? Is that really going to happen? Russ in the last game was listed as QB3 on the depth chart as basically an emergency only QB, which I think, correct me if I'm wrong, boys, I'm pretty sure that fucks the people that drafted Russ and then plan to pick swap him. Not 100% certain. But I believe if they're active, that destroys the pick swap. And we're +5 for another dog bowl. We have another dog bowl queued up. So if you guys want to get into that one for the next draft of the night, +5. Pat Fry goes. DeAndre Swift goes. Average goes at 40. Like, this is what I'm talking about. I think this is wrong. Like, I feel like this is wrong. I think we've given up a little too early. Now, the matchup isn't the best for him against Chicago, but that rushing upside, if JT can help him get down the field, even if he struggles as a passer, like, we already saw week 1, 27.5 points, finishes like QB3 or 4 on the slate. Little Deontay Johnson and Andy Dalton. Let's go. High T in the room. Oh my. Yeah, you need to set your pick swaps. Don't tell Nez that Russ may start soon. Tomlin won't start Russ without practicing. Yeah, we'll go over the pick swaps in a sec. Jordan Whittington. Oh my god. Yeah, I guess. Like, I'm probably just going to be clicking Robinson there, but it's not the worst pivot in the world. It's not the worst pivot. Whittington played 50% of snaps. Like, even Tyler Johnson was out there for 87%. Demarcus Robinson, that's who I meant, is out there for 92%. Like, Josh Downs, pick 64. First week back from a high ankle sprain, I'd probably still lean into, like, if you want to give me one player in Indy outside of Michael Pittman, who I don't think got drafted. Yeah, I'd probably just go Michael Pittman there and not overthink it. And just because we haven't seen it yet, I think people get uncomfortable with drafting it. But Alec Pierce out there for 95% of snaps. Yeah, so we get our pick here, boys. We get our pick. We don't have a bring back for either game, but Sam Darnold will probably be owned a little less, just slightly, than the Bake Quake. So let's bring in Sam Darnold, who's been pretty consistent, and we're already leaning into Justin Jefferson in this first round. He either needs to get relatively close to the people being drafted around him. So leaning into the QB is not a bad idea. Taysom Hill, let's go! Let's go! Josh brings in Taysom Hill. Play ball, man. Play ball. Let me check. I want to see his red zone touches. Taysom Hill's red zone touches. Yeah, Kamara had 6 week 2. He had 4 week 1. I don't think Taysom Hill was involved at all in the red zone. He wasn't. Here, I'll pull it up here. 6 week 2, 10 through 2 weeks is so. It's pretty crazy. Shaheed and Olave, Juwan Johnson with the one catch, 1 target, like 1 tutty week 1. Ooh! All right, we get the 1 spot, which I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm not sure how I feel about the 1 spot. Let me check. So that's another Lamb share. So we have 2 through 6. I don't think I want to make it 3 through 7, to be completely honest. It's just, in my opinion, it's a little tougher to go. Fuck it. Let's live a little bit. Let's live a little bit. Pick 24 is our next click. Test out the landscape. Okay, there's a couple people here I like. A little pre-plan. Logs full of practice. Let's do an Amon-Ra share. Fuck it. We're going CD Lamb. 3 out of 7. Lean in. Lean in. We're going another Lamb share. I do think it's important to get an early wide receiver. And I don't think we can 100% guarantee one receiver by Ayuk in this room. So I almost like the middle back of the board this week than the front. But we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. All right, pick swaps. Basically, you can't do it on your phone. So go to drafts, go to completed, go to whatever slate you want to pick swap. This is the main slate, and you add in your swap rankings. So the big one for me is going to be K-Walk, Charbonnet. You're seeing Charbonnet get drafted straight out now. So, but if he didn't get drafted in those early rooms and you drafted, let's say K-Walk, let's say he's inactive, you can put Charb at the top or whatever you want to do. And as long as he wasn't drafted, a player wasn't drafted, you can swap to them. But then it goes by like pick order. If there are other pick swaps, then you could be battling with how they have their ranking set up. Tank Down and George Kittle for the win this week. Taysom time. We'll see. I feel like the game scripts for New Orleans have just been like funky. They've just been funky. Derek Carr's been hyper efficient. Maybe that's what's so funky about it. Yeah, boo-hoo. Oh, shit. Yeah, let's not overthink it. Let's just go Lamb here. Always curious to see what people are doing in the first round. This is flip-flopped every now and then, Achane or Mason. Tyreek Hill goes at 12 again. Tyreek and Bowers. We just got Bowers on the left side of the board at 22. It's getting a little different here. Dragging Bowers to 13. Second time in a row we've seen Kyler McBride. Let's do this. And just a little tip. So like when the draft completes, if I'm drafting on PC, which I typically am because I'm using bestballoverlay.com, promo code Pounders, that's an ad. I'll pull it up on my phone, right? So I have that dog bowl room. It'll say like, you're up, pick 66, whatever the last pick was. I'll click the draft board. And then in the top Rizzy, I'll hit the save button. And I'll just go through if I want to see if certain sharp people are drafting the same player over and over again, what ADP they're reaching on. And in a way, when I'm in a room with them, I can sort of pre-plan, okay, they're going to reach for Ayuk here at 16, right? So you can already sort of pre-plan who's going to be there, who's not going to be there. And this is why it seems better to go wide receiver. Because you're hoping, you're basically praying for one of like Ayuk, DK to come back to you. Jalen Hurts falls to 20. Just let us live a little bit. We're 3 picks away. Let us live. Come on. Give us... I don't want to say it. He's going to go instantly, so I don't think it even matters. Okay, there's the DK click. Yeah, we'd have been in trouble at wide receiver. We'd have been fucking trouble. And that's the risk. Like, you don't know who's coming back to you with that many picks in between. So very glad we didn't try to big brain it. No, we wanted the Lamar Lamb stackaroonie. It drops right before us. Let's see what Biff does here. Ooh, I kind of want to double tap two of these three. We have the correlation here. We didn't get Lamar. I don't have a ton of Henry. You could see him get more carries this week. It's like, we're going to ease him into football again. Like, we don't want to overuse him. It's like, hey, guys, you're fucking 0-2. let's stop fucking around here. So let's correlate these two, and then let's just go with the lower owned guy coming back to us at 20-25 with JT. Let's not overthink it. It's going to be a super low owned combo. Taylor's been falling, but this seems a little far. Seems a little far. My God, it's crazy. But guess what? If you guys been watching content all season long, you're gonna have good roster construction when the bye weeks hit. Depending on what teams and what players get hurt on what teams, like you can't control any of that. So you just gotta hope that your roster construction and your small edges, your macro play takes over. Olave goes off at 26. James Conner, Kyren against San Fran. Worries me a little bit if they get out to. If it's like 10 zip after the first quarter, the run's gonna start to drift away a little bit. Will the dump offs go up? Like that's what you're hoping, obviously, with Kyren. You need him to get in the end zone. They obviously need to lean into Kyren, but man, it feels like the Rams have a lost season at this point. Dude, I'm really happy with how my exposures ended up. The one player, and I brought up before, was Kamara. And it's not even that like I'm mad that I ended up with 2%, but like I was at 0% when Kendra was healthy. He gets hurt. I'm like, okay, let's add some shares. And then the negative coach speak was like, oh shit. Like let's catch up a little more. Is he going to be doing this towards the end of the season? Like his advance rates right now are crazy. So the fact that I have even level advance rates, I'm very happy. Very happy. But Josh Downs is coming back. Have a lot of Drake May, so I'm excited to see. Like, dude, Brissett's taking a beating. He's taking an absolute beating. That being said, Drake May's probably going to take a beating when he goes in. Pat's O-line's unhealthy. Some of my fades have been some of my best picks or not picks. Some of my fades have been my best picks. I didn't even have to pick. So that's the one guy in that range that I really missed on. Everyone else, I basically hit the nail on the head. Let's pull up. I just posted this the other day. Like starting with 2% Swift. Very, very happy through 2 games. And again, it's week 2 going on week 3. Like it's way too early to celebrate. Even Kamara, like I'm not overly worried about it. He's coming back down to earth. The Javonte, just like I didn't want to be heavy on anyone in Denver. Samir at 4% because he owns a horse. Gus Eddy, 2%. We have, I want to say 8 to 10% Dobbins. The Kelsey fade again, year 2. Laporta, Hollywood Brown, which you could say it's injury related. He wasn't going to hit no matter what. We can't say that, but maybe we just get lucky with an injury there. Jalen Warren, Najee Harris's backup. Trey Benson, Now he did get what? He did get like 11 carries for like 10 yards in the last game. But I'm happy with how he did in that range. Not to mention smashed B-Rob, smashed Ramondre Stevenson, but like goddamn, the Pats O line has to hold up. The Pats O line has to hold up. Oh god. Yeah. 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 I saw it was funny. It was funny. Sometimes you just gotta laugh. Just gotta laugh. But yeah, I'm very happy with where we're at with sort of some of the early season injuries. The Debo injury being out a couple weeks could hurt. We're at like 16, 17%. But T. Higgins, we have like 16, 15, 16%. Josh Downs coming back is going to be big. He's in like our top 3. But yeah, I showed my exposures like all season long because I was drafting with them with bestballoverlay.com. Part of the reason why I'm so happy with where my exposures ended off is because I was able to see where my exposures were at every single point. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? I think I know. Unless this guy wants to just like randomly go Dak to plan to go Fergie, that'd be rude. Oh God, I saw tight end too. I saw tight end. Want the likely click? We already have Henry. I think we just double tap this. We bring in the double stack, boys. Like a Dallas double stack last year was fucking gold. Who says no? Who says no? Pacheco at 22%. That looked like a great click, dude. Especially where he started in ADP. That's where we really liked him. We started to come off the click when he got closer to like ETN. And he was actually still a good click there. It's just the injury's going to hurt him. Oh, no. Do you have a best ball team that you don't want to accidentally click on? Not really. I feel like I've streamed so many of them. Now, that doesn't mean I've never made a mistake. So you just got to own the mistakes, boys. That's it. That's it. Goes a long way. But let's pull up. It's always fun to see the exposures, like after a couple weeks too. So let's pull up. We're advancing 4 out of 6 of the $100 drafts. Let's see where's exposies. Here it is. The RJ shit is crazy. Rashawn Johnson, if that's gonna be my biggest miss, I'm okay with it because there's plenty of zeros that went before him. Like I was off the Vidal, which seems like a 0 right now. But Henry, we beat the drum for Henry Stevenson, not because we're Pats fans. Singletary when he was in the 120s. B-Rob, Charbonnet's looking like a smasher now due to injuries. But Ferguson, missing time already sucks. Rice is our wide receiver 1. Downs is our wide receiver 2. McMillions. Gibson looked fresh. They brought him in. He looked fresh. Some of the stuff's we need like T. Higgs to get on the field. We need Debo to get back and play football soon. That one's gonna hurt. 17% of a round 2 guy going down kind of blows. But yeah, very happy with our exposures. 15% Lamar as our QB1. We did go a little heavier on the elites. But yeah, very, very happy with how the season started so far. It's been an absolute wild ride. And with this many injuries, I don't think my edge is with fucking everyone being injured. I would rather no one get hurt and have my roster construction and being able to identify depth in those later rounds take more of an effect than like some of the luck of the injuries. All right, we're looking for a last round wide receiver. Dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. There's only one more receiver to go off the board. Oh gross. Larry, what's up, baby? I know. We should have known. When Tim Patrick didn't get hurt in training camp, we should have known we were in for a wild ride. What's the Addison news? Misses practice again. Jaden Reed officially did not play, which makes me want to go. Just curious, projection-wise. Okay. Let's go to... Only one more guy needs a receiver. Where's Allen? Allen play today? Won't practice Wednesday. DJ Moore goes at 35. Okay, there's a couple players I want to peek at. Odunze played 94% of snaps, but the fucking guy can't get a target to save his life. This is like a zero risk click, in my opinion. What sucks here is JT and Michael Pittman seems tough, but last round click Michael Pittman. I don't mind Odunze as well. It's just especially if Keenan Allen doesn't play, he's out there for 100% of snaps. We have the bring back. One of these two seems good. Also don't mind like Dobbs if Reed misses. Dobbs, or if you want a big brain, let's go Rome. I think he's going to be under 5%. So let's bring in Rome there. Yeah, that was a fun one. That was one that's like you can see that hitting and no one having the Dallas double stack, the JT falling to 24, and then the bring back theirs. It's kind of fun. Caleb will get better as the year goes on. I agree with that. And I'm looking heavily at like, okay, if Keenan Allen doesn't play again, and we're getting Rome Dunes, who was a little banged up last week, so I'm surprised he played 94%, but that's only a good thing going forward for week 3. And because we haven't seen that spike week yet, I think we're getting a discount there. So, hello, Herbert. Remember the talk of like RB2 in Chicago. Is it going to be Herbert? Is it going to be RJ? I still think there's a chance for one of these guys to hit with Swift just playing how we expected. The designed runs are terrible. Like maybe don't bounce it outside to their best defensive player every run play. That could help, but they need to get the run going to help Caleb. So they have some problems going on. The Cole Kmet shit's crazy. After they brought in Everett, that worried me a lot. And Kmet was someone I drafted a good amount in the big board, but we made that adjustment. We didn't just keep blindly clicking after new news came up. We made the adjustment where, they brought in Keenan Allen. They drafted O'Dunes. They bring in Gerald Everett. I'm like, all right, well, we're not doing this anymore. But 77% of snaps is actually a nice little uptick for Kmet in week 2 there. Thought I had this on the screen, my bad. 9% snaps for Herbert. RJ, he was dealing with a toe injury too in training camp. Now, this was a healthy scratch, but like something needs to change with this backfield. So I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to underperform, if he can get involved there somehow. But this is big. Yeah, you have to draft it before you see it sometimes. That's how I won the Battle Royale with Russell Wilson and Judy on their worst year in Denver. Oh, man. But guys, appreciate you coming out. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please, before you leave, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss when we go live. We're going to be doing another stream on Friday night. That's going to be with Billy Jones of Spike Week. big data guy, big Massachusetts guy. Shout out to Billy. And that's always a great, great informative stream. So we'll catch you guys Friday night. Have a good one. Pounders.